Welcome to I Said What I Said, a sports podcast giving you opinions not heard anywhere else. I'm your host, Brad Wilkai, alongside my co-host, Tyson Gentry. Tyson, so today is our Week 0 picks episode.
The
So
hell
if
is
you're
week
not
0?
familiar, we have no clue, right? It's 4 games on the slate. We got some good ones. This is going to be our edition of the betting episode that we do for college football. So going forward, it's going to be different. We're still trying to circulate and figure out what exactly our plan is going forward. But because the slate is so small, we're going to operate this way. We'll just go through each game on the slate. It's not going to be that way going forward. Like, believe us, we're going to have our picks and stuff, but we're starting out here with just the 4 games. We dive into week 0. Tyson, are you happy that there's a week 0 or are you pissed?
I'm pissed. I hate this. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. Everybody plays when everybody plays, and I think that that's the way it should be done. What does this mean? So week 0 and then week 1. That's not how numbers work. It starts at 1, and so the whole thing's dumb. Do you remember at least back when week 0 was packed with good games, and now they've moved the good games back to week 1, and so it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're getting a shitty appetizer before you get the actual thing. And week 1 and week 2 and week 3 are kind of like appetizers too. So basically week 0 is for the rest of the country to get to watch some random FCS schools play, like who else is watching Hawaii the rest of the year besides the fact that they're on by themselves on Sunday?
I'll watch them.
Yeah, you will. So why?
All right. This will be a quick one. Let's go through here. It's the Florida State and Georgia Tech. This is the biggest game of the weekend. Florida State, perennial contenders, are trying to do it again. They're over in Dublin, Ireland. This should be an interesting game. I really don't know what to expect. In a lot of these games, we don't know what to expect. I think you're kind of taking a flyer on a bunch of this stuff. The market is pretty solidified. I mean, these lines have been out forever. And Tyson and I, again, we say we're not professional bettors. These lines have been up for a long time. We are getting the worst of these numbers. But that's just the way it is. We're doing content here, but we are betting these numbers ourselves. So I'm going to take the over here at 55.5. That's minus 110 on FanDuel. So why am I doing that? I think Florida State is going to have the advantage in the trenches, and we're kind of confused about how it's going to look with DJU, all of that stuff. But if you're just going to be able to run the football, I think they're going to be able to have explosive plays and be able to put up points at a rapid rate by just pushing around the opposition. Now, on the flip side, if Georgia State's in that game script, they're going to want to try to run up the score with their athletic quarterback, Haynes King. Their offense actually looked good last year, and I think they're going to build upon that. Defense is what concerns me for Georgia Tech. I think they're going to get a little better, but I don't know about Florida State's defense. I think they may be able to get taken advantage of, and with Georgia Tech prepping for them this whole time, I think we might see some wrinkles that takes advantage of that. So I'm going to take a shot on the over here.
I don't hate that at all. I have similar thought process a little bit as far as running the football, but that's why I'm on Florida State minus 10.5. I think this is the DJU special, baby. We're just going to control the clock. We're going to pound your face in, and then at the end of the game, you're going to look up and we won by 14. I think Florida State covers this number. I don't think it looks pretty, but they've also had an entire offseason of everyone being like, haha, look at you. It's the Simpsons meme, right? It's Nelson pointing at you and laughing. And I think Georgia Tech gets a beatdown to start the season here just because, look, dude, if Brent Key shows up and wins this game, awesome. I'm not mad about losing the first game of the year if Georgia Tech is fun doing it. I just think the talent discrepancy here is pretty big.
Moving over to Montana State at New Mexico, and it's one that's from our home state of Montana. Now, right now, Montana's the favorite. Why? People are like, why? I've never even heard of them, blah, blah, blah. They're 13.5-point favorites. They're not just favorites. If this closes at this number, they're going to be the biggest FCS favorite against an FBS school in the history of the matchup. I mean, it's crazy. And so how does it happen? I mean, FBS are supposed to have more talent. Well, in the instances where the FCS school is favored over the FBS school, they actually hit at a 64% clip. Now, at this high of a number, not quite sure. But with that said, I'm going to lay it with Montana State minus 13.5, minus 110 on FanDuel. New Mexico, this is a rebuild. And we like Bronco Mendenhall coming in here, but there is just not a lot of talent. And on the other side, Montana State, I think they're just going to be able to run at will. They're going to be able to play into their strengths. They're going to be able to attack this defense. And I just don't know if New Mexico is going to have an answer on offense. So this is a big number. It opened like at 5 points. Just a horrible line that was hung clearly. And now it's up to 13.5. I'm still going to lay it here.
Yeah, I mean, Montana State is just like better, and it's not weird to say. I think you're going to look at like the FCS polls, and you're going to go, "Well, they're fourth in the FCS." Like this doesn't make any sense. I've said it all the time. Brad disagrees with me. He's wrong. I'm right. The top 4 teams in the FCS could walk into a Group of 5 conference right now and challenge for a conference championship. Montana State has a really good chance of playing in Frisco. Luckily, the FCS has had this whole playoff thing figured out for quite a while. So even if they lose this game, it has no standing on how they're going to finish the year as far as playoff seedings go. But Brad, they want this one. They've been paid $300,000 to go down here and embarrass New Mexico, embarrass the Lobos. Excuse me. So I'm taking them minus 13.5 points as well. I think they're going to run the football. But I also have a same game parlay. I watch Montana State play every week, and I have for a long time. I'm a Grizzly, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate the Cats. So my same game parlay here is Montana State minus 13.5, Montana State team total over 34.5, and Tommy Mellott, the quarterback from Montana State, anytime first half touchdown scorer. That same game parlay is plus 315. Tommy Mellott is an electric football player. He is your quintessential college football quarterback. If you want him to throw the ball, good luck, but boy, he can run it. And I think that the Cats are just way more physical. And I think that's going to be a little bit of a surprise for people, but it's going to look a lot better when NDSU embarrasses Colorado a week from then too.
Moving on to a game that we're extremely interested in, SMU at Nevada. Excuse me. The interesting thing here with SMU, Tyson, is Preston Stone is the starter, but they're going to play both quarterbacks. I don't know if this is a quarterback battle. When Stone got hurt last year, I'm trying to remember his name. He did a good job. So it's like, are they?
Dude, the only name in my head right now is Tanner Mordecai. And that's wrong.
It's like, Kevin Jennings. So are they rewarding Kevin Jennings with like, hey, good job last year, we're going to get you in for some reps? Or is it like, do they actually think Kevin Jennings might be the guy here? So, but that being said, both quarterbacks are going to play. And so when we're looking at the spread, it's a monster number at 24.5, depending on where you're looking. But I don't know if that means, they're going to go balls to the wall at the end and kind of figure it out that way. So for me, my play here, I'm just going to take it in the first half. I'm going to go minus 14 in the first half. SMU laying it at minus 120. That's on DraftKings. I think they're going to want to get out fast. They're going to want to score a lot of points. Preston Stone's going to want to do his audition. They're going to want to run this thing up. And if they do want to take their foot off the gas to close, at least we hit this number. We don't have to worry about a backdoor.
The offseason's made you soft. The Brad I know would never shy away from an SMU minus 24.5. That is where I'm at on this, folks. Quarterback battle or not, it doesn't matter. I think they're scoring on 80%. They're scoring touchdowns on like 80% of their offensive drives. Nevada is not a very good football team. Nevada can be fun occasionally. We expect SMU to be awesome this year, and it starts here in week 0. I think that they score 1 billion points this week.
Closing it out, Delaware at Hawaii. This is the classic get back game, right? Week 4, if you're needing to get back, I mean, you're in some trouble. But
for Delaware State, it's a classic get their game. They just need to find a way to get to Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, they missed their flight. The team bus had an issue, or missed the team bus, couldn't get on the flight. Some absolute mess for Delaware State. So they're having a hard time figuring this thing out. It's a huge number. 39.5 for Hawaii, 40 depending on where you look. I mean, they're huge favorites here. Now, it has me concerned about the big spread. Timmy Chang, the head coach, is like, we're not showing anything because we play UCLA the next week. So in my mind, Tyson, you know what I'm thinking? I'm taking Hawaii in the first half, minus 23.5, minus 124 on FanDuel. Let's get out fast. Let's score points. Let's put them away, and let's just run the ball in the second half. I don't want to be sitting there sweating like, oh, my God, are these guys going to score on this just horrendous Delaware State team? I'll see if they can do it early. If not, then you kind of flip off Spectrum Sports if anybody has that, and we're good to go for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can sail the 7 seas, sail the high seas to get this game. I don't know why you would. I don't have any plays in this game. 40-point spread is terrifying. If it's Alabama, Delaware State, I'm still afraid of a 40-point spread. So to see this for Hawaii, not want any piece of it. Are they going to hit that team total? Probably. Like, are they going to cover the spread? Probably. So all these things, like if you like Hawaii at all this week, then you got to like them big. And I just have no idea what we're going to get. Like, okay, so if they don't show anything and they win the game by 35 points, you lose? That's not where I want to be.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's it for week 0. We're going to have more stuff for week 1. Obviously, we're going to try to change some stuff around. But Tyson, I think this is a big live betting weekend. I mean, we have no clue. Like, it's not preseason NFL football where you take a peek and kind of see what's happening. I think I'm going to be playing a lot of these games live.
Yeah, I think you have to, and we'll be throwing our picks into the Discord app. The group name is I Said What I Said. There's a channel in there, College Football. There's College Football Live Bets. We'll be throwing in, like Brad said. These are a little bit more fun as nobody else is really watching. You can get a chance to breathe and think about the live number before having to send it in. Whereas week 7, when you're looking at your phone, you're tapping that thing as fast as you can to get the bet in before it changes. So this is one of those spots where if you want to take your $20 or whatever it is and roll into the weekend, you might have more success going live than playing these things straight up.
All right. Like, subscribe, and share the show. You guys know the drill. We got a lot of content coming out for you later. We finish off our preview with the SEC. If you haven't seen our other ones before the season gets underway officially in week 1, go check that out. The SEC fans, we got you covered. That's coming out Sunday. We'll talk to you then, guys. Peace.